I know a lot of people are going to feel me when I say this, that most narcissists do not want to change. We are not interested in changing our behaviors. And there's a lot of reasons why, but there's a few main reasons why most narcissists don't want to change their behaviors. Why most narcissists don't want to do anything to benefit other people other than if it doesn't benefit themselves. Of course, y'all, if you're new here, Lee Hammock, diagnosed narcissist myself, and I give you the inside look at the mind of a narcissist. But yeah, y'all, let's hop right into this thing. Like, seriously, most narcissists cannot change. I don't think that most narcissists can change. I know a lot of people ask me, because you see my platform, you hear my journey, you know my story over the last 8 years of me being in psychotherapy. At this time, this video has been filmed in 2025. I don't know when you're going to see it. But at this time, I've been in psychotherapy for 8 years. And I've been working on it. I've been dealing with it. I've been battling my own mental health. I've been battling narcissistic personality disorder, right? I've been putting the work in on myself. I'm changing my behaviors. The personality disorder does not go away. Let me reiterate that. The personality disorder that I have, it does not go away. It does not get cured. A lot of people ask me, can you get cured? Are you cured? Are you recovered? No, I'm just dealing with it. I'm like, therapy for me is management. It's not eradication. It's management. It's learning how to manage the symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder. That's what therapy does for me. But most narcissists don't want to change, don't want to put the work in, because y'all, it requires so much introspection, and it requires them admitting that they are wrong about something, that something might be wrong with them, that something is going on with them. It requires that at minimum, and most narcissists don't think that anything is wrong with them. They like to find ways to blame everybody else for what is going on. They like to find ways to blame other people for how they're being treated and how they're behaving. They like to blame other people for this stuff because it benefits them at the end of the day. Like, if I'm successfully able to blame you for something, then I got you. You see, if I'm successful enough, if I'm able to put it onto you, then I got you. You see how that works right there. Narcissistic people, most of us are going to go about it that way. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to put it onto you. We're going to blame you. I don't want to take the accountability. Why would I want to do that? Accountability brings in the shame. It does. Accountability means I'm going to feel shame for what I've done. I don't want to feel shame. I'm trying to escape shame by any means possible. I'm trying to escape shame. I'm trying to get rid of it by any means possible. So why the hell would I take accountability? Why would I openly welcome shame into my life? Why would I do that? That's the mentality that most narcissists have. Why would I do this when it doesn't benefit me directly? Why would I do this? Right? So you got to ask yourself the question, put yourself in your size, in your narcissistic partner or parents or exes, whoever, put yourself in their size 27 clown shoe. You comfy in there? Okay. Now, why would you change if you don't have to? Why would you change, right? Why would you change to benefit other people? Your mind doesn't work the same way that a narcissistic person does. And that's a hard pill for so many people to swallow right there. That, simply put, your mind just doesn't work the same way that your narcissistic partners does, your husband, your wife, whoever this is, right? It just doesn't work the same way. Because as a narcissist, I'm thinking myself first. I'm trying to defend myself first. I'm trying to protect myself first. Me. Another reason why narcissists don't want to change is because, y'all, they don't have to. I know I said this a little bit before, but they don't have to. It's a lot easier to just go about my daily life being me without having to change anything about myself. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it makes sense to narcissistic people, especially if you're with me. If me and you are in a relationship together, you and I, let's get grammatically correct. If you and I are in a relationship together, right, and I do something bad to you, if I continuously do the same things over and over again, and you're constantly forgiving me and taking me back, why do I need to change my behaviors if I'm still getting what I want from you? That's what you got to ask yourself. Why do I need to change anything about me if you're giving me what I want still? If I'm still somehow getting my needs met from you, by you, why would I change anything about me? How does that make sense, y'all? I know everybody's just like, man, damn, this is kind of crazy, Lee. You right. It is kind of crazy how that works right there. So yeah, how does that make sense for me? If I'm getting everything that I want, why would I change anything? If I'm a bum living with you, I've been on your couch for 5 years. Now you want me to get a job? Why would I do that? You've been successfully paying the bills for 5 years. Why would I pay the bills? You've been surviving without me doing it. What's the difference now? Can I have $20, by the way? Please? You see how crazy that sounds? You see how insane that mentality is right there? Think about that when you think about it right there. Why would I change anything about myself when I'm still getting what I want? When I'm still progressing forward? Why would I do that, y'all? I know, like, to a lot of people, it's just like, I'm getting everything that I want. Why would I change? I don't need to. Why would I go have to look at myself in the mirror and face myself if I don't have to? You see? And I'm not trying to victim blame or whatever, but this is the mind of a narcissist. You want to know how a narcissist thinks? Black and white thinking. If you don't leave me, I must not be that bad. If you keep taking me back, I don't have to change. It's black and white thinking, right? So here's a small caveat though. Sometimes you got to ask yourself, like, sometimes you do leave, right? Or sometimes the narcissist leaves you. Sometimes they just don't come back. Why would they? Why didn't they change then? Why would they leave us? Sometimes it's easier to replace you than to change me. Think about it right there. It's easier for me to get a new supply, a new you. It's easier for me to get a replacement version of you than it is for me to go out here and work on myself. It's easier for me to start from scratch, start anew with someone else than it would be for me to do anything with you. And I know that sounds crazy as hell. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you're here for a reason. You want to get inside the mind of a narcissist? You're here for a reason. This is the type of stuff you have to think about. I am still going to, I would rather stay me than to change me and be with you, to keep you around. So this was why sometimes you'll get a narcissist that would rather discard you, abandon their kids, abandon their family, abandon their whole life and their family, abandon their households or their jobs or whatever, than to change who they are, than to go sit inside a therapist's office and work on themselves. I know that sounds crazy as hell, but it's true. You've dealt with it. You've battled with a narcissist before that has done this type of stuff. So you definitely understand exactly where I'm coming from. There's the point to be made right there, because most narcissists in these circumstances are going to keep doing the same things over and over again. I'm not going to change because it's easy for me to keep my own patterns. Like, it's easier for me to stay inside my comfort zone and stay inside this circle that I've drawn than it is for me to step outside of it. I don't want to step outside my comfort zone and have to work on myself to be someone else. Right? Are you vibing? Okay. Because this is what goes on in the mind of a narcissist. But Lee, do narcissists know what they're doing? Y'all, I just did it. I just recorded a video. It's going to be out soon about that. But here's a little preview. Most narcissists know exactly what they're doing. Well, Lee, that doesn't make any sense. My partner said they black out. They don't remember anything that they do. Yeah. If they don't remember what they did, that's scarier, first of all. If they black out and tear the house up or hurt you or harm you, that's scarier. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember trying to unalive you. I don't remember putting a pew-pew to my head and threatening to pull the trigger and threatening to hit you with it as well. I don't remember that. That's scarier. How's it not scarier to you? I think people think that's an escape hatch. That's not. That's scarier. If they don't remember, how can they control it? If you don't remember what you have done, how can you stop what you are doing? Think about that right there. You see? Even because most of the time they're lying about remembering, right? But they think if they tell you that they don't remember it, that you'll forgive them and you just overlook it. Think about it right there. If you don't remember it, isn't that scarier? If you don't recall, isn't that scarier? You see? It's easier to have this selective amnesia than it is to change their behaviors or to admit that they were wrong. You see how that goes right there? Like, it's easier for me to try to pretend that I don't know what I'm doing or what I have done than it is to change my actual behaviors. But also, you get into the mindset of a narcissistic person, and you also get to that point where narcissists really, truly they really, truly just don't think that anything is wrong with them, y'all. But they also get into the mindset, but they really, truly don't want anybody else to know what they're doing. Well, can they control it? Do they know what they're doing? Yes, that's why they don't do it in public very often. That's how you know what they're doing, because they can control it. They don't do it in front of everybody. Now, if they had a tick and they just screaming in front of everybody like they have Tourette's or something like that, yeah, that's different, right? But they don't abuse you in public in front of everybody. They don't put their hands on you in public in front of everybody. They don't put a pillow over your face or pew pew to your head. They don't do that in public, do they? Huh? Thought you couldn't control it. Thought you didn't know what you were doing. You see? That's what you have to think about. This is the type of stuff that you have to think about when you're dealing with a narcissist. You really, truly do, y'all. And I know it sounds foolhardy. I know it sounds like foolish to some people, but this is the lifestyle that some people are dealing with. You know, if you're new here and this is your first time hearing these videos, this is literally what so many people are here battling against. What so many people are here dealing with. Toxic, abusive, manipulative, narcissistic people that don't have their best interest at heart. Narcissists are going to serve themselves. They don't want to change because they don't have to. They don't feel like anything is wrong with them, or they're getting their needs met. Like, most narcissistic people are not going to go sit in therapy and face themselves. They don't want to face themselves. I face myself every single day. It's a tough thing. That's why I've been in therapy for 8 years. That's why I've been doing almost 20 years of personal development of myself. I've been watching reading these books and stuff like that for 20 years about being a better human being. This is 20 plus years of work, y'all. What you see right here in front of you. Yeah, I'm about to be 40 in a couple of weeks, but this is 20 plus years of me working on myself. So I hope this video brought you some clarity. I hope it brought you some understanding, and I hope it let you get inside the mind of a narcissist of why we don't want to change, right? If we don't think there's a problem, if we can't acknowledge something is wrong, then you can't change something that you don't admit that exists. Anyways, y'all, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Y'all know I'm super thankful for you. And shout out to everybody who's been leaving like the super chats, the super stickers, and whatnot. I try to respond to them all. Join the channel memberships if you haven't already. Some behind the scenes stuff going on there. Some good behind the scenes stuff. Click one of these videos on the screen right here to stay on the channel. Watch another video. YouTube pick one of these videos for y'all. YouTube say, hey, this one's for you, or that one's for you. Anyways, y'all, Mr. Hood, this is out. Peace.